The countdown to the North London derby is officially on, and as Sunday approaches, both sides are dealing with a mixture of anticipation, pressure, and serious injury concerns. But before the focus shifts to the tactical battle between Mikel Arteta and Thomas Frank, Tottenham have received an honest and emotional update from one of their star signings. Dominic Solanke, Spurs' £65 million summer arrival from Bournemouth, has admitted his time on the sidelines has been very difficult, describing the past 3 months as some of the most frustrating of his career. Solanke made only 3 appearances for Tottenham before an ankle injury. One he had been managing since pre-season forced him into minor surgery at the end of September. Speaking to The Athletic, the 28-year-old said he initially believed he would return quickly, only for scans to reveal the problem was far more serious than first thought. Multiple attempts to return were unsuccessful, eventually leading to the procedure he had hoped to avoid. "I'm not putting a timeline on anything," Solanke said. "I've been telling everyone. I'll be back soon for months. Now it's day by day, but hopefully it won't be much longer." He will not feature in the derby this weekend, nor in the Champions League midweek clash against PSG. But he has been back in the gym, building up strength, meeting specialists, and preparing to rejoin a squad still battling a long list of injuries. Solanke also heaped praise on Thomas Frank, who arrived from Brentford in the summer and has quickly put his stamp on the Spurs dressing room. "He's a great man manager," Solanke said. "All the players love him. He speaks with us every day, and the environment he's created is incredible." Solanke believes that once he and others return, Spurs can do some big things this season. And Tottenham will need that belief because their injury list continues to grow. James Maddison, Dejan Kulusevski, Radu Dragusin, and Solanke remain out. There are also concerns over Randall Kolo Muani, who fractured his jaw before the break, as well as Lucas Bergvall, Ben Davies, Yves Bissouma, Kota Takai, Mohamed Kudus, and Pape Matar Sarr. 10 Spurs players could miss the derby. But across North London, Mikel Arteta is facing an equally troubling situation. Arsenal are bracing for a top-of-the-table showdown while navigating one of the most brutal injury stretches of Arteta's tenure, and many as 9 Arsenal players could miss the derby. Gabriel is facing weeks out after a knee injury with Brazil. Jurrien Timber received treatment on a knee issue for the Netherlands, but insists he is fine, though his availability remains uncertain. Riccardo Calafiori has returned early from Italy, due to a hip problem. Further forward, the list grows longer. Kai Havertz, Victor Gyökeres, Gabriel Martinelli, Noni Madueke, and Gabriel Jesus are all in varying stages of recovery, while captain Martin Ødegaard is still regaining fitness. Despite the injuries, Arsenal have been able to celebrate major off-pitch news. Bukayo Saka is close to signing a new contract that will keep him at the club until 2030. Although his current deal runs to 2027, Arsenal were determined to extend early and avoid entering dangerous territory where rival clubs could begin circling. In another boost, summer signing Ebereki Eze has spoken glowingly about Jurrien Timber, describing the Dutch defender as the player who has impressed him most since arriving at the club. "I already had high expectations, but he's gone beyond that," Eze said. "He's a special player and a special guy. The standards here are so high, and seeing someone like him, his quality, his behaviour, it's inspiring." Arteta will hope that inspiration translates onto the pitch as Arsenal attempt to extend their 4-point lead over Manchester City. A win over Spurs wouldn't only maintain their title push, it would give them the psychological edge in one of English football's fiercest rivalries. For Thomas Frank, it's an early opportunity to make a statement in his first North London derby as Tottenham manager. For Arsenal, it's a moment to show they can handle adversity, injuries, and pressure at the very top of the Premier League. But with potentially 19 players missing across both squads, Sunday's derby may be as much about depth, resilience, and mentality as it is about tactics and talent. One thing's certain: the chaos, the noise, the emotion, all of it is back. North London Derby Week has arrived. In North London, the pressure is rising, the injuries are mounting, and the stakes could not be higher. As Arsenal prepare to host Tottenham Hotspur this Sunday, both clubs arrive at the first North London derby. Of the season battered, bruised and under intense scrutiny, but for entirely different reasons. For Arsenal, this campaign has been branded a crucial season for manager Mikel Arteta, a claim made bluntly this week by former Arsenal striker Paul Dickov. Speaking in an exclusive interview, Dickov stressed that after 3 consecutive runners-up finishes and a combined 17-point shortfall behind Manchester City, the time has come for Arsenal to convert near misses into real silverware. Dickov warned that despite Arsenal's impressive football and significant squad investment, it's imperative they actually produce something this season. He added that Arteta doesn't necessarily need to win both the Premier League and Champions League, but he must go deep in one and pick up a major trophy in the process. Anything less, he suggested, would force serious questions inside the dressing room, particularly after 3 years of falling just short. Arteta, now 43, knows better than most what a title-winning side must look like. After all, he lifted 2 Premier League trophies as part of Pep Guardiola's coaching team at Manchester City. Since then, he has reshaped Arsenal with a more modern, intense and tactically fluid style one that has taken the Gunners to an FA Cup, 2 title races and a more consistent presence among Europe's best. This season, Arsenal currently sit 4 points clear of Manchester City and remain one of only 3 unbeaten teams in the Champions League. On paper, the trajectory looks strong, yet the reality is less comfortable. Injuries have struck at the worst possible moment, and the timing could not be more cruel. Because when Arsenal walk into the Emirates for the derby this weekend, they could be without 9 first-team players. Gabriel suffered a knee injury while on international duty with Brazil, and could be sidelined for up to 4 weeks, possibly longer. Jurrien Timber, after receiving treatment for another knee issue with the Netherlands, may escape serious damage, but Sunday will likely come too soon. Martin Odegaard and Kai Havertz are still battling their own knee problems. Victor Gyökeres missed Sweden's World Cup qualifiers with a hamstring issue. Riccardo Calafiori has returned from Italy with a hip injury. Gabriel Martinelli continues recovering from a thigh problem, and Noni Madueke remains out with the knee issue he sustained in September. And then there is Gabriel Jesus, working his way back from ACL surgery. In the second major storyline of the week, the Brazilian striker has directly addressed rumours claiming Arsenal could entertain offers for him in January. Reports suggested he was among several players placed on a provisional transfer list alongside Ben White, Gabriel Martinelli and young Ethan Nwaneri, with the club potentially open to suitable bids. Jesus moved quickly to silence the speculation. Speaking to Globo Esporte, he insisted his future remains with Arsenal until at least 2027, the length of his current contract. Though he reiterated his dream of returning to Palmeiras someday, he firmly dismissed the possibility of leaving the Emirates early. He also revealed that mentally, he has coped surprisingly well with his injury, crediting time spent with his young family for helping him stay grounded. Arteta, however, remains cautious about Jesus' timeline. Asked about the striker's return earlier this month, he admitted, "I don't know. The club will continue assessing his progress, but he will not be available for the derby, joining a growing list of absentees." And yet, if Arsenal are dealing with an injury crisis, Tottenham are facing something even more severe. As many as 10 Spurs players could miss the derby, turning Sunday's meeting into one of the most depleted North London clashes in modern history. Lucas Bergvall remains doubtful after withdrawing from Sweden's squad with concussion symptoms. Randall Kolo Muani reportedly fractured his jaw in the 2-2 draw with Manchester United. Dominic Solanke has not played since August due to an ankle problem. James Maddison, recovering from a long-term ACL injury, is not expected back until May 2026. Dejan Kulusevski, also recovering from a knee injury, will not return until January. Radu Dragusin is still working toward fitness after his ACL issue. Archie Gray may miss out with a calf problem, while Ben Davies, Yves Bissouma and Kota Takai are also at risk of missing the trip. For Thomas Frank's Spurs already battling for rhythm following multiple key injuries, in the early months this represents a major test of depth and resilience. And for Tottenham, walking into the Emirates with so many missing pieces will demand both tactical discipline and emotional control.